Hi, everybody. It's Grant. Reading chapter 3 out of Surviving and Healing the Addiction Beyond Fear and Addiction. Chapter 3. There is a wonderful anachronism for fear, false evidence appearing real. Much of fear in our lives is based on false evidence. Our bodies are designed to respond with a fight or flight mechanism to real and present danger, such as being physically attacked. In the face of the real and present danger, the adrenaline flows and the blood drains out of our organs and brain and into our limbs to prepare us for fight or flight. Yet many people spend much of their time in the anxiety and stress of fight or flight when there is no real and present danger. This is because the body responds the same way to imagined danger as it does to real danger. The body thinks that the false evidence coming from our thoughts is real. This constant state of fear and anxiety often leads to various addictions in the hope of numbing out the difficult feelings. Food, alcohol, drugs, nicotine, gambling, sex, TV, shopping, approval, attention, work, anger, rage, violence to self and others all can be used in attempts to block out painful feelings. Yet the addictions themselves are abandonment of self, in that they are not a healthy and loving way with dealing with painful feelings, and it is self abandonment that causes the most fear, anxiety, and depression. Thus, many people are caught in very negative circle based on self abandonment, thinking negative thoughts about the future, about rejection, failure, loss of others, loss of self, loss of money, creates fear in the body and is abandonment of self. We are abandoning ourselves when we allow ourselves to make up thoughts about the future that scares us. This would be like saying to a child, "You are going to end up alone. No one will ever love you. You will be out on the streets with no food and no help." Saying this to a child would be considered child abuse. Yet many people the same things to tell themselves the same things to over and over when there is no objective truth to these statements. Once we have created fear with our negative thinking, we try to avoid the fear with our various addictions. Avoiding responsibility for creating our fear by turning it to addictions is another self abandonment. This is like offering a frightened child a cookie instead of addressing the source of the fear. The self abandonment creates deeper inner emptiness and loneliness, which perpetuates the addictive behavior. It also creates neediness, leading to pulling on others for love, approval, and attention. Addictive behavior perpetuates the original fears, an endless vicious cycle of self abandonment. Moving beyond fear and addiction, there is a way out of this. While this process is moving beyond fear and addiction is simple, it is not easy. It takes deep commitment and devotion to your peace and joy. Choose the willingness to feel your painful feelings and take responsibility for creating them, rather than continue avoiding them with your various addictions. It is only when you are willing to be with your feelings rather than avoid them that you can learn about how you are creating your pain. Subconsciously, decide that you want to learn about what you are thinking or doing is causing your pain. Dialogue with the part of you that is in fear and pain. You can think of this feeling you part of you of a child within about how you are causing the pain. Discover your thoughts and actions that are causing your pain. open to learning with a higher power. Your own highest, wisest self, an inner teacher or mentor, a guardian angel, God, and about what is the truth regarding your negative thinking and what loving action is toward yourself. Take the loving action for yourself that you were guided above. Notice how you feel. If you feel more peaceful, then you now then then you know that you have to take a loving action. If not, then you need to go back through these steps and to discover another loving action. How to get rid of addiction and abuse. Tell me, does this describe someone you know? Some people feel inferior. You, some people who feel inferior use an addiction to try to overcome weakness, especially in times of increased stress or deep inner conflict. A person's inferiority complex reveals itself in his or her actions such as addiction, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, child abuse, compulsive eating, blame, and aggression, among others. No successful person desires a destructive addiction. What people who choose addiction or abuse want is the power and ability to create a better life. Fearing they do not have this power to improve their lives, you will hear these people use excuses and blame to justify their addiction and abuse and protect what little dignity they feel they have left. If you find yourself or others dealing with addiction or abuse, instead of justifying or blaming, just ask the following questions. Do I want healing and resolution for my addiction or abuse? Am I willing to improve myself to achieve healing? Do I realize I cannot control others? The only one I control is myself. Am I willing to take the first step for myself to get rid of my addiction, abuse, excuses, blame, and other destructive habits to achieve peace and happiness? Alcohol abuse and drug abuse are common crutches today. I have met many people who feel tongue-tied or awkward at social events. They find a few cocktails or beers give them a lift, turning them from introvert to extrovert. Many people drink to feel better about themselves, even to the point of abuse or addiction. For an article entitled Lori Propkop interviews the experts, one doctor said to me, "It's sad but true. A seemingly innocent use of alcohol can quickly and easily become an addiction, especially if people perceive there is some way improved when they drink. Alcohol abuse, drug abuse, and any other addiction that and are serious forms of personal loss. The people who depend on any exterior addiction or abuse rather than improving their perceived weaknesses and healing their pains are beaten from the start. Such a person can find healing. They must get rid of the addiction and abuse, find a healing system that works, and resolve their fears and pains." Well, that's a big chapter. Chapter 3. I'll go on to chapter 4 here in a bit. Thank you. Have a blessed day.